Okay, I think we have it. Can you hear me? According to this, you now can. Testing, testing. Can you hear me now? You The funny part is I made a really bad April Fool's Day joke in the beginning and you couldn't hear it. So maybe I was saved from my really bad joke. So yes, rebooting OBS did it. Somehow OBS just didn't work right. Eva, try connecting some headphones with a microphone. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I know the setup should work, so now it just did. It was just the gremlins, apparently. It's not, I haven't touched the setup. I was even using it a little bit before the show, so there we go. Okay, so this one, I already read off all the people, but you couldn't hear me, and I just don't feel like going back after all that fun and games. So I'm just going to start with the Mandelas. We got a high production quality show here today. Oh, I'm on the wrong page, too. Alrighty. Okay, so this one was brought by John Austin. Pearl Jam, the song is Jeremy. I remember something in there that goes like this lyric that repeated multiple times, and it was like, Jeremy, pools of blood below. I really remember that one in there like 3 or 4 times in the song. So, John Austin, I didn't even know this changed, but John Austin noticed that the pools of blood were gone. And that's how I remember it, pools of blood. So I looked at the lyrics, and it just says, the dead lay in pools of maroon below. But I remember it being Jeremy in pools of blood below. So, and that's the only place it's there, and it's just all mangled. Some of these other lyrics I think have also changed, but I won't swear to it. But that one, I know there was pools of blood. So yeah, I got this cover one because, I don't have to worry about copyright, I don't think, if I just play a few clips of this, real short clip of this cover. So this is the same spot. So he's like somewhere around here where he talks about lemon yellow sun, arms raised in a V. Now, what's just interesting about this one, and the reason why I picked this cover, is they all pretty much sing the current lyrics, but he kind of just like mumbles out at the end of here. He goes, pools of, and it's sort of weird. Like he forgot the lyric too, or he like fuzzed out on the lyric, or it wasn't right. So I just thought it was really interesting that I just checked like 2 or 3 covers, and this guy has a weird glitch right there. So I'm gonna play it. So hopefully you can hear this. In pools of maroon. See, he goes in pools of room. And so it's supposed to be pools of maroon below. And for me, it was pools of blood below. So, plus other parts of the sentence. I don't know if any of you guys remember what I remember. Man, nobody knows that song. Are you serious? Anyways, okay, so I call good find. That one is super mangled. Maybe it was able to change more just because you guys have never heard of it. Okay, so we've got more C3PO. Let's see, who brought this one up again? Somebody. Oh, John Austin again. Noticed some more. C3PO is always changing every freaking 5 seconds. So I spent a goodly amount of time trying to find images from the first 3 movies, because if it wasn't from the first 3 movies, then like I didn't know the other movies as well, and maybe they changed the costume or whatever. Okay, but so what he noticed was this thing, that the center thing looks different again. It looks like it has like a water spigot in the middle of it. It used to be more concentric rings. You know, it's changed so many times, it's hard for me to remember the original now. I remember it in the middle instead of on the bottom originally. It's been this way for a while, but it had concentric rings, and now it looks like it has a water spigot thing for like an outdoor water tap for those of you in countries that use outdoor water taps. The other things I note, that's what he noticed, and he kind of alluded to he saw other things, but he didn't tell me what he saw. Of course, there's the old one where people don't remember him having a silver leg. That's the old Mandela. So I'm gonna like list off the little things that I saw. Now these things were new last time. These funny, like in I don't know, cross pieces and the antennas on his neck. And the earrings around his ear, and the pointy thing on the top of his head, and the little antenna on his knee, and then the fact that the silver now goes up into the knee part way. Those are the last time we covered this. So this time I'm calling change on here. Well, I agree with John Austin on that. I also feel like he's got like he looks like he's got man parts now. I mean, he's kind of slung, and I remember this going straight across here and straight across here. There's not this many wires showing, and he did not look like he had anatomical correctness before. It was just really, it's like slung down here and then it's slung down there. Another thing I noticed last time, which was a Mandela for me last time, was that he had like a lot of he had black gloves with the silver with the gold parts on, and you could see a lot of the black gloves last time, and I commented on that. And now I can't find any images where you could see the black gloves. I mean, I would imagine they would be still in there, but the costume covers that a lot better in this timeline. So that was a temp timeline. Also, these spiral things in the arms I think are new, and this cross pieces right here, these shoulder elements are a little bit more sophisticated now. Let me see what else. Oh, later I'll cover there's circle things down here too, but you can't see in this image. Oh yeah, the stomach wires. These things are always changing, okay? For me, they were like bigger wires originally, and then they got smaller wires. Now they're really sparse. So I'll show in some other images that, so basically he's got some kind of a black outfit on here, and now you can see that outfit because there's not that many wires. So it's kind of corny looking now because it really looks more costume-like. Like they didn't stuff it full of wires very good. Okay. Okay, so that covers everything I see there. Now, if you guys see anything else, let me know. I actually didn't look at R2. I'm not as good at R2. It has to be really blatant. I don't see anything real obvious. I mean, for me, R2 didn't used to have all the white and blue, but that goes way back. Okay, so these are the older ones here. Let me just do the back view. Okay. See, it looks like he has pants on now back here. It's really slung, and his butt looks more human-like. Used to just be more robotic for me. So, that doesn't look right for me either. Okay, this one shows the wires better. I actually had a heck of a time hunting and hunting and hunting for images from the first three that showed the wires. And you can't totally see it in the movie ones, but if you look at the offset ones or any of the ones from the later movies, you'll see that you can see the black back there. Okay, so there's a little doodah on the side of the hip now, and I believe there's one up here too on the shoulder that did not exist before. These little cross pieces right here, actually, I don't remember those either. Well, he's just getting more and more and more fancy. Unlike a lot of the old school stuff, it's not degrading. It's getting the reverse of degrading. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here you can see there's a little, there's a circle with a little X in it there. And then there's like a little circle thing here. This is probably just some kind of dismantling nuts or something, but you can see that piece. Oh, and there's this one too. I don't think I remember that one. Here, I don't remember. I took forever to find this one that you can blow up. Okay, so here, now you can totally see like how, now the problem with this one is this was a little bit later movies, but still I don't remember being able to see this cladding under here, this black cladding, and they're all like that, even the first three movies. It's just that I couldn't find a really good close-up for you from those, so I picked this one instead. But even in the older movies, you can see these elements that I'm pointing out. Oh, look, there's like multiple little poobahs in here too. One, two, three. I don't know if that happened in the later movies or not. Um, see, one, two, three. I don't remember one, two, three right there. I just remember that one. And then he had, this might be the spot for that lock nut, but I don't remember these two additional ones. Unless they added those later. So yeah, if you guys see anything, see he has the red hand by the time this image was done. Unfortunately, I just could not find a close-up of the first three movies. I don't know, do you guys see anything I've missed? Let me know. Gold vertical wires on the stomach area. Let's see. Doink. Oh yeah, well, okay, this one might be the later movies. I don't think I saw this in the earlier movies. It was more, it was like super, the early movies look like these same number of wires, which is not very many, and little thin ones. Also, I didn't have 10 million colors on mine. It was just like 3 or 4 colors. They were like red, kind of a tan orange. There was white, and I think there was black. That was it. There wasn't like yellow, green, and all these million wires. That they were in the first three movies, they were cut like they were just stretched real straight. It looked kind of dorky. Let's see. I thought I had one with, you can see it there. Look, it's all of that black area that you see on there. Oh, I think I can expand this one too. Oh, it's a miracle. It's not as good a quality, but you could see all of this black area in here. It's just that fabric cladding. Now, for me, this was packed with wires, and you could not see, and it was kind of bulging out with wires even, and they were fat wires. And the wires have changed some, but this is the first time I've seen it so sparse. He just doesn't have that many wires here. You can see still the circle thing there. Okay, so this is from, I think this was the Ewok one, right? Yeah, there's an Ewok. Oh, interesting. The hand here. I'm not sure if that, I don't remember there being black under there. That's weird. I'm going to have to dig. Look at all the cross pieces here, too. Huh. See, there's like lines. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Agree, fat wires 100%. Yep. $9K, his red arm was episode 6. Where are the antenna from? 2018. Yeah, no, all the original movies have all those antenna on him actually. Now, I don't remember them there, but that was some Mandelas we covered some months ago. We have to warn people on April 1st every year on our Mandela fact. Yeah, and see, it's just clicked over, like, because I start at midnight, so I get the first minute of the April Fools. Like this whole world is an April Fool's now. You know what? Every time you walk out the door and something's changed, it's like the world's playing a joke on you. Stupid notifications. Epic failed. Yeah, they're useless. The story of April Fools is when the calendar changed. April 1st was the New Year's first day. People didn't want to change, so they made April Fools to make them look stupid. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, I never really heard the story of it. The actuator armatures of C-3PO look pretty ridiculous. I don't know. I think that antennas like on his neck are like my vote for the dumbness award. Let's see. These antennas right here, which kind of fold around and stuff. I mean, like, I don't. It kind of looks like he's got some kind of neck shackle because it looks like these attached to it, but they don't, as far as I could tell. But yeah, C-3PO, oh my god, he changes even more than Darth Vader, a lot more. But yeah, the Mandela's making him more fancy. So he actually was really simple in my original timeline. It just like every shift is like adding stuff. The pelvis is more bulbous. I thought so. I thought he gained weight. This kind of swoops out more now. And I wondered if maybe the actor had just a couple more pounds on him, or maybe they just wanted to do it that way. Now he definitely, if you look at the later ones, he for sure gains weight. Let's see this one. No, wait, this one. Um, he I think for sure he's a little fatter in this one, but I think the actor is either just older or whatever, and he may have gained a few pounds because it's been a long time. Okay. I just saw earlier Christ the Redeemer statue lost a finger to lightning in 2014. Huh, have not heard of that one. 2009, it was either Indiana Jones hat or Baloo's missing coconut bra. Those were the two supposed best ones of 2019, huh? Okay, so anyways, I think that we've covered that one, so I can clear off a bunch of these windows. I almost hate to say goodbye to those because it took me so long to find those. So anyway, two good ones by John Austen. This one, just kind of an interesting one. Mark Tyus found this one, our regular finder of the stuff. So this has been kind of a trend. It used to just be like humans that mostly did the drugs. And then it was like, well, cats had catnip. Then the next thing you know, dolphins are chewing on pufferfish and all this weird crap. Everything's getting high on everything apparently in this timeline. So apparently now jaguars chew on ayahuasca vine, blast off into psychedelic hyperspace. Now, I've got a little confused on this because supposedly there's two things you have to consume to do the ayahuasca. You have to take this vine. You have to take the ayahuasca, and you have to take this vine that allows the ayahuasca to not get digested in your stomach, so that you can get high from it. Otherwise, you'll eat it and you won't get high. And so the ayahuasca vine, from what I can tell, is actually the MAO inhibitor that allows the other one to work. So the other plant, the DMT containing Psychotria viridis, if that's the DMT combining vine. So when I was researching this like some months ago, this was the vine that had all the psychotropics in it, and then this other vine that this jaguar is chewing that has the DMT in it. So how is he getting high? Are they saying now that this other vine also has additional fun stuff in it? So there kind of are, and I don't know what these are. It contains harmaline. I don't think I want harmaline. It's got that word harm in it. Harmaline, and tetrahydroharmine, all of which are both beta carboline, harmala alkaloids, and MAOs. All I heard was the MAOs. Now I've never heard of all these other words. The MAOI inhibitors in BCAPI allow the primary psychoactive compound DMT, which is induced from the other primary ingredient in ayahuasca, the Psychotria viridis plant, to be orally active. Okay, so yes, if this only allows this other one to be orally active, then how come he's getting high on this? So basically, there's a video here where he chomps this vine and then he spaces out like a dum-dum. But he's definitely going to town on this vine. And he's acting kind of like it's catnip, although my cat would actually get more of a buzz before he spaced out, but on catnip. But I don't know. So it's kind of a Mandela because we just have this thing where all the beasties are getting high now. But also, I thought it was really weird that they seem to have. I want to say it's the wrong vine that he's chewing on, but maybe that storyline's changing too. I don't know. It's like there's so many things that moving and changing that it's making me crazy. Okay, so now I've covered this before where there's times when we'll have two versions of a story, and then suddenly like there'll be a shift and there'll be like another group of people come in and they'll have a third or fourth version. So that happened recently on Retconned. Used to be that the death of Bruce Lee had like two, like I would say three stories possible. There is the story now where he died at his girlfriend's house after consuming hashish. Okay, that's the now story. And then there was two versions of what people remember. One was that he got shot like his son did. And that was why it was so freaky when his son got shot on the set because the same thing had happened to him. That's not my timeline, but there are so many people who remember that timeline that I don't think that they were just confused. Okay, then there's my timeline where he died peacefully at his wife's house after taking aspirin, not hashish. In this timeline, they say that that was all just old wives' tale and they were trying to cover things up, and it was always this other icky story where he ate hashish and they think that killed him, but they weren't really sure. Okay, so that was three versions. The fourth version that just showed up is several people showed up and remember him dying from EMS, electromagnetic stimulation. And I have never heard of any, I was quite the Bruce Lee fan when I was a kid, and I have never heard of any of this. The only part I do remember is him having an EMS machine in this movie. I do remember that. But apparently now the story is that he used it often, all the time offset. And some people think there's still kind of a rumor that may have contributed to his death, but it's a very sparse rumor. But there was a bunch of people who came on that said they remember him dying from EMS. And electromagnetic stimulation. So if you don't know what EMS is, it's basically they use this in physical therapy sometimes. Is there's a machine that puts little electrical stimulations into your muscle, and it'll cause your muscle to twitch, and you can improve your muscle strength a little bit with that. They say that the max is about 10 or 15% though, and you have to use it a lot. So it's probably a lot easier to just like weight lift or something than sit there and get shocked all the time. But it's not enough to like totally shock you. But they say, I don't know, there's some people are saying if you use it too much or the machine is too strong, it can damage the muscle. And then other people are saying it hardly does anything. And then, oh, the machine was banned that he used to use. And I don't know, I've never heard of any of this EMS business. So now I'm like kind of shocked that people remember him actually dying from it. So I'm calling Mandela on that one, even though it's not my timeline. I just thought it really kind of illustrated some of my points about these new timelines with these new memories coming in. And it wasn't just one person, it was multiple. So it was the aspirin. Yeah, he was a good boy in my timeline, and he's kind of a schmuck in this timeline. In the Emerald Forest movie, the Jaguar was Power's Booth's spirit animal when he did the potion. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know about that one, but we do see that stuff that starts in movies and myth does become real. But on the flip side, I mean, every animal and his uncle now is like a drug addict or something. The guy in C-3PO died years ago. I don't know. I didn't even know that guy, so I thought I saw, him wearing the costume recently, so I don't you'd have to check on that one though, but it's just not something that I knew about, so you can see my computer screen's like cacking up again, so that's why I'm watching this secondary screen, which makes me not look at you. And then I put my mic closer because I noticed it had been like sneaking away. So the last video, it sounded like I was really far away. I hope this one's a little better. If I put it too close, then everybody freaks out and says I sound weird. The lightning left diamond stigmata on Christ the Redeemer's hands. I think we covered that before as being a Mandela. C-3PO was simple, slim, and nice. Did you know? Slim shaming is a thing now, is it? I don't know. Everything is a microaggression now. I mean, I don't think you should shame people for this and that. But I mean, like at the flip side, a tiny little mistake, and now it's like you have to grovel on the floor. I think it's gone overboard. Although I have to say, people get online and then like 10,000 people tell them how they're doing every little tiny thing wrong. I'm sure that gets pretty old pretty fast. For me, the wires were a lot more visible, mostly up and down, almost like they were kind of up and down, but like a little bit wavy. They weren't like, straight. I have been bitten by a jaguar. No joke. Where's my jag sense? I don't know. Maybe you have to buy a jag car or something. I think in order to get jag sense, you have to have some kind of radiation to go with the bite. Ooh, somebody gave me $10. When I get down there, I'll figure out who it is. Woo, I got the notification. Since I still have this on, starting to kill my ears. Shari remembers him dying like his son. Yeah, see, there's a lot of people. There's so many people, I just don't think in it, and some really sharp people remember that, so, I mean, if it was just a few, you could write it off as confusion, but yeah, see, his son got shot, but a lot of people remember him getting shot. Yeah, the hashish story, I think I covered that like a year ago, but so now they're saying it was hashish plus aspirin. I'm like, what? Have you even heard of hashish plus aspirin? I think it's like the timeline is trying to keep some of the old story and stick it together with the new story. Someone sucker punched him. I think that was that escape artist guy got the sucker punch. And unless you're sure, I mean, I don't want to argue with you, but there wasn't that, what's his name? Houdini in this timeline got sucker punched. And a lot of us remember Houdini having died by drowning when he was trying to do his like handcuffs underwater trick, and he didn't get out and he drowned. But in this timeline, he was sucker punched. Ooh, somebody else gave me $10. If I quit talking, Futuristic gave me $10. Thanks for the fun stream, Eva. Thank you. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Medication for something that causes organs to shut down, and symptoms were sweating and mental memory loss and so on. Really? For Houdini, or for Bruce Lee, huh? So what I remember is he had taken aspirin, which he didn't do much. He had a headache. He took aspirin, and then he went to lay down, and then his wife found him dead. So in this timeline, he took aspirin plus hashish, and his girlfriend found him dead. It was Houdini. Yeah, Houdini got sucker punched. And I remember him dying in the water tank, just like Shari. Just joined, so maybe off the pace. Bruce Lee died because of a headache tablet. Silver E55. Yeah, in this timeline, he died because of, they think, aspirin and hashish. He took hashish, so could have still caused his brain to swell. Who the heck knows? But, in this timeline, they were saying he looked unwell for some time, like several weeks. So they thought the hashish might be doing him in. Yeah, Bruce Lee has died multiple ways, apparently. Chuck Norris killed him. Yeah. There might be a timeline for that. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Let me go back to that one. Let me do that one last. Okay. This is a tiny one in more ways than one, but you guys have silverfish, those little annoying house pests in your area. I have noticed this, and so did Thomas Larson. If you've been watching your little silverfish, even the little household beasties are changing. So basically, the antenna on silverfish are huge now. These are the little beasts. I swear there's so many more of them. The antennas are almost as long as the body, and these things, those were way shorter. These look quite different now. If they weren't like kind of silver and kind of the same movement, I don't know if I'd even hardly recognize them, but I felt like there was a spider on me. Ugh. I'm looking at bugs and then I feel them. Okay, too much imagination here. So anyway, yeah, antenna on silverfish, way bigger. Nobody likes those things. The only saving grace, I'm literally knocking on wood right now, is they're not poisonous. Now, the timelines are kind of funny, but let's hope it stays that way. And they don't bite, I don't think. Actually, let me just check that. Because that would be really funny if they bit. All right. Where is the rest? I guess I closed them all. Okay. Silverfish bite. Because everything else bites now. All right, no biteys. Okay, good. I'm going to be mad if that one changes because we have a lot of them. All right, did that one. All right, I've only got 2 more, so it really is kind of a short night. And I hunted for them, and I did not find any, so it's been kind of quiet. Okay, so this one is from Velcra Defang. VelcraDefang. Velcro de Fang. This is kind of a weird one, and it's right up my alley. Medical stuff. But not super creepy. I already had the bug for today. That might be enough to find it. Yes, here we go. Okay, so apparently you can use dog blood. That's right, yeah, dog blood. No, wait. Canine blood in feline. Yeah, you can use dog blood in cats now. So say your cat is injured and you don't have enough blood, you can just put dog blood into the cat and the cat will be fine. The cat will not have a giant allergic reaction and the cat's immune system will not have a nuclear holocaust over this. You just couldn't do stuff like that in my old timeline. You couldn't. I mean, it was hard enough just matching people blood, not to mention dog to cat. So this is like the story. Xenotransfusion. They even have a word for it. I have a feeling we'll be hearing more about that. Of canine blood to cats has been historically performed commonly and is still performed nowadays in some countries. Considering the current lack of commercial availability of hemoglobin-based oxygen carrier solution, I don't even know what the F that is. I really should look that up to see if it's new because I have not heard of a high-quality artificial blood as of yet. There may be rare occasions when treating an anemic cat with compatible feline blood cannot be obtained, and where a transfusion with canine blood may need to be considered as a life-saving procedure. Blah, blah, blah. Published evidence in a limited number of cat cases, 62 cats, indicates the cats do not appear to have naturally occurring antibodies against canine red blood cell antigens. So this is just interesting because I mean, in my old timeline, responses were against the whole protein, but now apparently, if you don't have naturally occurring antibodies against the canine red blood cell, then you don't respond. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And then apparently later, slowly, pokey like, the immune system of the cat eventually notices that those blood cells are off and gets rid of them. But by then, the cat, and I guess it's not violent and there's not, it just quietly removes these red blood cells and then it has time then because it's not dead to create new red blood cells to replace the ones it's nuking, and then the cat red blood cells then take over. So they're calling it like a delayed hemolytic reaction, but yet there's no like illness or anything caused by it. The cat's fine. Then later, if you try to transfuse again later, then there could be a big reaction. But that's just sounds totally crazy. So basically, you can only do one dog to cat transfusion because after that, then there is antibodies. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this one because I think that this is going to be one of these stories that kind of sneaky like changes. I can't see you putting foreign blood in there and your body is like, no big deal. Next thing you know, they'll be putting pig blood in people or something. Yeah, there are different species. Dog blood in the cat. Man, you guys are chatting fast. Lately, I'm kind of glad we have a midnight show because I would never be able to read all your stuff. You can use coconut milk and transfusion. I've heard of that. It just doesn't have any proteins in it, so there's not as much to react with. But are veterinarians then becoming aware of the Mandela effect? Because it's not typical, especially if they're practicing medicine. You know, I think what happens is they just, I must not have heard about that. I must have remembered wrong. It must be an exception to the rule. That's what I kind of hear from these people. I have heard my friend who had to go to the hospital a lot. He did say that he talked about the Mandela effect to some of the nurses, and they quietly said that they did see anatomy changes. Like more than half of them had noticed things, and so they were really interested in it. But they can't talk too much about it because you could get fired. Because if you act, if you sound like you're crazy, so they have to be really careful. Even lions and tigers are different enough that it was extremely difficult to get a liger out of it. Yeah, it's a tiger lion. Ligers are getting so big now too. Yeah, some of them get updated, but it seems like some of them just kind of I don't know. There seems to be kind of a range. Coconut milk. I think you had to dilute it or something, though. I'm not sure on that coconut milk. There's actually a fair number of things you can inject in there. I mean, you can inject saline, and coconut milk is not that different because it's basically water and some minerals and stuff. It doesn't have proteins, so there's, it's almost water, basically. So what's different is the proteins. The proteins in the cat blood and the dog blood should trigger a reaction. The fact that they're saying not really and then just sort of later, but then your cat doesn't even show any sickness symptoms, I find that highly suspect. Next will be lizard blood in humans. Yeah, I don't know what, 10 more years of Mandela and who the heck knows what it's been like. It's coming on 5 years for me. Not quite, but it's getting close. I don't know what we're going to have by then if I, Foxes are now dogs. They act a lot like dogs now, yes. That I actually watch a lot of the fox videos because it just amazes me. They were just mean little stinkers before. Cute, but they sure as heck were not tameable like that. Sometimes I wonder if silverfish just manifest. Like, where do they come from to be in the bathroom of a house? I don't know. Those things seem like they crawl through pipes and stuff, but, I've often wondered about spiders because I just don't see where these daddy long legs are coming from in the bathroom. There's not any food in there usually until ant season comes, and then they can subsist on ants, but they like all die after ant season. And then then somehow there's more of them in there like next year. And I'm like, how do they get in there? I don't know. It's just weird. I've definitely wondered about that, like New Zealand was totally locked down and somehow the Rona, the you know what I mean. I don't want to say the word, got into the middle of New Zealand, even though they were all locked down with their borders closed. And, how does it get in there, I mean, they just figure, well, it must have been somehow circulating inside, and maybe it was, but you got to wonder sometimes. How do all the fish get in these distant ponds and lakes and stuff, Now they're saying that the eggs are carried in bird poop, but that's kind of a recent thing. So what, the birds pooped in like every river and lake ever? It just seems a little suspicious. I don't think we'll be here in 10 years. I don't know. I'll be somewhere, and I don't know what versions of you guys will be there. Even my Mandela chit-chat folks keep changing, My Emmy animal for the week is the Chinese mountain cat. Let's check those out. There's so many cats showing up now. A bunch of like littleish ones. Chinese mountain cat, also known as Chinese desert cat. Desert or mountain, that pretty much covers it up. And Chinese steppe cat is a small wild cat endemic to western China that has been listed as vulnerable. Size may be fewer than 10,000. Oh, there's a lot of them. They just look like your typical fat, lazy cat. If you saw that thing in the alley, it's a little bit, the body is a little raccoon-like, but you just think it was kind of a weirdly bred fat pig cat, I think. This one looks interesting with the ears back. Is that the same thing? Huh, interesting. This one, the ears are strange. Of course, you can't tell what it is because it's in another language. Chinese cat. Some of the new ones show up like that. Keep an eye on that one. When I see new animals, it's like they first show up and there's like some kind of image and you can't understand any of it and you can't verify it. Let's see what this guy is. Chinese mountain cat. Huh, interesting. So they're extra cute when they're sleeping. That cat doesn't look like that cat. That's what's confusing me. What do they got? Super puff powers or something? Look at that. They definitely have a lot of different looks. What is that thing? Some kind of pig. Okay. Man, you guys are talking a lot. I heard some people have trouble making children with certain blood types. Yeah, it's a Mandela for me. Let's see. Let me think now. So some people do not have certain antigens in their blood, and if their kids do have those antigens, then they can get, there can be a problem. I think that's how it works. But basically, if your kids and your kids' antigens are not compatible, you can lose the pregnancy. So you have to take some kind of stuff to block that. it's like RF negative or something. I kind of forgot. It's new for me, so I kind of studied it, but it's not like something I took in class when I was a kid. So um, I didn't have that, and it just sounds totally weird that nature would set people up with the situation where they could lose their kid because of incompatible blood types. And there's like in this timeline, it's been around for some years now. There's all kinds of rumors that some of these people have alien blood or I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy stuff with it. Yeah, it's funny. You can make a pond and fish will just be in it. Yeah, where the heck they come from? Tartaria believers claim beings are manifested by energy and illnesses literally pop into existence. Yeah, I mean, it sounds totally crazy, but we've seen animals pop into existence. We've seen islands pop into existence. So why not viruses? Why not anything else? I mean, pretty much anything's on the table by then. It's not an Emmy for me. O negative has to take medication to not abort a positive blood type kid. So basically, if you don't have that antigen, and then your kid does, your body could like freak out over it. But yeah, I know that Epic Journeyman comes from his timeline is closer to the current than me because he had narwhals and stuff, and I didn't have narwhals. So I'm not really surprised. I think we had a huge shift this past, like total shift. This is a totally new reality now for me. Way different than ever before. I do think there might have been a shift, but I saw a lot of like little stuff, just kind of like little pokey stuff, like the bends in the roads and that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to think what little ones. There were just little bitty things. So it's kind of the point now where I'm like, just a little tiny, another tiny little Mandela. But usually, yeah, if I see like a lot of little stuff, I mean, it's still a shift. I have been feeling this week like there was a shift, but I haven't really seen any MEs this week. The thing is, there's so many Mandelas now and then I see them and I'm like, well, when did that one even show up? Like, I do feel like this EMS one for Bruce Lee is pretty new. Okay, so where are we? I think we're coming down got that one, Bruce Lee, Jaguars. Okay, so the thumbnail, woohoo! Okay, so this thing, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but what year do you think that beast is from? It's a flying wing, by the way. I've just started hearing that term lately. I should have probably checked, but it's been the last few months I think this thing has popped in. And so this one's another one by John Austin, discovered this one. I need to shut the sound off. No sounds. Quiet. Alright. Go to... Let's go to about there. All right, I'm just going to play a short clip. So this is a big beast. This is them flying it. I just don't remember anything like this. The stealth bomber was the first kind of triangular thing. This literally is just a wing only that flies. So for me, it was the stealth bomber was kind of the first guy to do that, and it wasn't even this wing like, so this is kind of a trip for me. Let's see it there. there it is on the ground. See if I can get where somebody's next to it. So you can see this is a huge thing. These are people here. Don't want to play too much of it because definitely get a copyright strike very easily. YB49. So this is from 1949. American prototype jet-powered heavy bomber developed by Northrop Corporation shortly after World War II for service with the Air Force. The two YB-49s actually built were both converted YB-35 test aircraft. I just didn't have anything like this. I mean, it was really just the stealth bomber was like the first triangular thing. Let me just check out this Convair B-36. Yeah, okay, so they went with a more traditional one, although none of these look familiar. Okay, so they're saying it went into the B-2 bomber, but they just didn't have anything like that. And, you know, in my time, there was like all this yammer about seeing these weird triangles in the sky, and there was nothing, like there was no planes that matched it. So they were like, oh, it must be UFOs because we don't have any triangle planes. But certainly not anything public. Now, you could argue that they might have had something private. But they didn't have anything like from World War II. So anyways, that one I just thought was really suspicious. If they had that from World War II, then people wouldn't be saying it's all UFOs. I mean, these are like, you know, airplane buffs and everything. Not one person went, hey, wait, you know, we had triangle aircraft in World War II or right after that. No, nobody ever said that. It was always UFO, must be a UFO. So I think that's everything. Kind of a quiet, I didn't see a lot of Mandelas. A lot of these might be older. Like I said, I did see some stuff, just little stupid stuff around the neighborhood, but yeah, the baby making problem with the blood is new for me also. It makes no sense and it's weird. I mean, you definitely would hear about that like in studying about that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, they would want you to know that in case you got pregnant and you could lose your baby, you know? We got groceries. Oh, you remind me, Andela. Okay. So Andela says, we got groceries and my husband threw away a jar of olives because the seal was suspect. The next day, there was a new jar of those olives in our cabinet. You just reminded me of one of the big Mandelas. And I need to tell my coworkers this, but so like, I don't like 3 years ago, there was this big bag of pig tusks that we sell a lot of, and I just ordered a giant bag of them, and they're kind of hard to get a hold of because, you know, you slaughter a whole 800-pound pig, there's only 2 tusks, you know, and so getting a giant bag of them, they're not always available. And I had just gotten a giant bag in, and then I had it at work, and then we couldn't find it, and I'm like, the place is not that big, you know. And I looked everywhere, and it's not like anybody would have stolen it because I only have 2 coworkers, and they're old people who could care less about pig teeth. In fact, they can't even believe I sell all the crap I sell because they think it's just ridiculous that anybody would pay anything for it. I guarantee you they would not steal them. We were all mystified where this bag went. And it's been a joke for like 3 years now. You know, whenever we can't find something, we're like, oh, it must be with those pig teeth. And I looked all over because we ran out and I wanted that bag. And I looked behind everything. I looked 10 times. And this week I found it like in a place I looked 100 freaking times. It was just, so when I have a bin of something and I have backstock, I put the backstock behind the front bin. Very logical. Now, sometimes the bins move around a little. So if I'm looking for backstock, I check the backs behind every bin to make sure it's not on another level. And I did that multiple times. And the funny thing also is that it's been 3 years. So many, many times I have gone back there looking for other backstock. So I must have looked back there like 20 times on every shelf in the last 3 years, because all the time, do we have more of this teeth? Do we have more of that? Do we have more of that? All the time. And this week I found them, and it's going to be the epic joke of the universe, because we've been out of those for a year because can't find them anymore. That's a whole nother story, because there used to just be that kind. And then suddenly my vendor had all these other kind of boar tusks and pig tusks that they never had before, but we couldn't find that one anymore. They never got it again. And then, I don't know. It just, when you work in the selling animal stuff, and then the stuff just keeps showing up, it's kind of a trip. So yeah, that was actually a huge kind of weird Mandela for me, that we have been joking for like 3 years that maybe someday the pig teeth will show up, and then they're sitting right there this week. So Lincoln had an Air Force hot air balloons connected to telegraph wires. Yeah. Yep. Lincoln had an Air Force. Oh, I guess he has an Air Force base. I mean, Lincoln Air Force Base. Abraham Lincoln's Air Force. Here we go. Can you imagine? Did you ever read anything about people coming over in hot air balloons and attacking the British? I mean, he had conducted research into Civil War balloons and has spoken at a number of events. Okay, wait. Under Lowe's direction, Lincoln's Air Force gave a unique and fundamental advantage to the North. Unfortunately, it only lasted for a short time in a dispute with the government, who was trying to rein in Lowe's somewhat self-serving management style. Lowe quit. Without a champion, the balloons ended up in a warehouse in D.C. and were never again employed in the war effort. A lapse that may have extended the length of the war. That's interesting. So they're sneaking it in there, but then they're like, oh, well, it was just this little side thing. I wonder if this one, too, will grow. It does seem like this timeline really loves its hot air balloons. They're, like, everywhere. That's a really good find, Ann Gaynor. Good job. Well, see, there used to be, like, hot air balloons was like a steampunk thing. I mean, they would put it in the old movies because it was silly, not because it really was there in the reality, but now it is. At least for me, I don't know. What do I do with pig teeth? I just sell them. People make tribal necklaces out of them and stuff. So I'll drill holes, I'll get them in, and I'll drill like holes for beading, or I sell them whole. Some people have like art projects they want to put them in, or they have like taxidermy and they need teeth, all kind of weird stuff. I don't know everything that everybody uses because I only know if they tell me. Most of the time they just pay their money and they get their teeth and they don't tell me what it's for. But occasionally I'll get somebody who's, oh, you've seen like those tribal, because the teeth are nice arc things, so you can make a nice tribal jewelry with them. Oh, what's really been weird lately is the birds have been really singing up a storm. They start like at like midnight. It kind of freaks me out because it feels like it's dawn when the birds start singing. I'm like, oh my God, it's so late. And oh no, it's only midnight. Very weird to be walking to the truck, and the birds are singing in the middle of the night like crazy. Stormwalker, I've noticed the wind being way stronger and moving differently this spring. More small birds here. Yeah, we got more colorful birds, these night cackling birds. I don't know, pretty songs, but it's just in the middle of the freaking night. And it's not owls or anything. They just sing like normal songs. I've never had that here, ever. Anywhere I've ever lived in California, there have never been night singing birds other than owls. That was it. "1947 is way too early for stealth bomber prototype." Yeah, see, for me, when was it? They said it was from the 60s, maybe the 70s was stealth bomber. And then they kept it hidden for a long time, and then they coughed it up in like the 80s. It was somewhere around there. I often feel shifts a day or two after your live stream. Oh, don't blame it on me. Actually, for me, I tend to be like, other people will say that they feel something, and I'll usually be a little behind the eight ball because I'll be like, no, I didn't feel anything. And then, like, a lot of times I'll get it like a couple days later or a week later. What's your website for ordering? You can go to, I'll show you what it is. Might as well get some free advertising. So I'm on Etsy. So if you go to Etsy. So I started with feathers. Actually don't know how to get straight to my store. Let me see if you could do it this way. I don't want you to see all my passwords and private info. Okay, so here's one of my listings. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I sell porcupine quills. So it's Eva's Feathers, EVASFEATHERS. But I sell all kind of stuff. I originally sold feathers, but now I sell everything I can get. I don't sell like furs. I just sell scrap stuff. Teeth, claws, blah, blah, blah. I sell a lot of fossils. These are petrified dino fossils. Amethyst. I got a band-aid on my finger because amethyst can be very sharp. I learned that today. There's a bunch of stones, more fossils, teeth. Hermit crab shells, very popular. Pop sockets, very popular. Goat horns. They use those for food, so I get the horns. See, I got like 12 pages of stuff, so we could go on forever. It's kind of boring, but if you like weird stuff, I've got really good amethyst prices. So if you like amethyst, I'm a good one to get. I actually sell a lot of that, and I'm kind of running out, but I'll get more. This week was an Emmy lull, but that usually means crazy ones are about to happen. It does seem like that, doesn't it? Like there's this kind of, you feel the shift and then the stuff starts to show. Maybe, I don't know if it's because we don't notice it right away, or everybody's feeling sick and tired. And I saw another channel, people were saying that they were just kind of totally pooped out and all that. So you're all tired and blawed out, and you're not lively, and then maybe nobody's like posting anything because they don't have any energy. So that might be part of it too. Then when you kind of recover, then you're like, okay, now I'm going to make a video. Around the World in 80 Days on every book cover shows hot air balloons, but not in the story. Huh. I don't know. I mean, the movie had it, didn't it? I'm sure it did. How else are you going to get around the world if you don't have a hot air balloon? I mean, in the story, that's how they got around. I don't really know, but they now say there were Hindenburg survivors. Huh, I have not heard that one. Berg survivors. The only survivors of the Hindenburg are still alive. Only 8 are still alive now. Yeah, no, I don't remember that. That one I can't swear to, but percent survived, 64% of passengers and of crew. That's kind of creepy percent that they match. So 64% of the Hindenburg people survived. Survival was twice that of sinking Titanic. So 64% of 6,000 people. Wow. Okay. That thing was like a smoking. It went up completely in flames for me. I don't know how anybody would have survived that. I mean, the whole thing, the flames went all along of it. I don't see how anyone would. See here, I just see flames on this end. Yeah, I really don't remember this whatever this scaffolding being here either. I mean, now it looks like it hit the scaffolding. I mean, I know that's not the story, but I don't remember there being scaffolding when it went up either. But that's kind of an older Mandela. Because I would have totally noticed if it looked like it hit scaffolding before, and it just never did. Um, it's just that one image. I remember this video where the flames just ran all up the ship. That's a little closer here. Wait, is that a different one? Because it doesn't have the scaffolding there. Huh. No scaffolding. Yet they're saying it's the Hindenburg. Don't know. I guess it flew past the scaffolding by then, or what's the deal? I don't know how you could have this and have 64% survivors. And the whole thing was like a giant torch. I mean, even like these burn people, you'd be lucky if you survive that level of burning even now. Huh. I never saw this either with it shooting out the nose cone like that. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of suspicious. Jet had paper made candle holding hot air balloons. I could see that maybe. Because they have those now. I mean, you can buy them for like $10 or something. I talked about it before. What was it? It was something about the skin or something that it was before that I say it was different. Yeah, I have a big store. I've been doing it for like 10 years, so. Caligula's ring. Let's check it out. I should put some of these down. Ooh, looks pretty nice. Let's see if it's that one. Oh, wow. Is that it? This? Which one is Caligula's ring now? I'm not sure. Or is it this one? Ancient Roman coins. All right, help me out. Which one of these is the Caligula's ring? Images. Okay, so it looks like it's this. Oh, that is nice. That looks totally modern. All right, I'm going to put that on my list. Wow. No thanks. Check that out. You know, I don't know how to say it because I've kind of covered it before, but like every week I see stuff now that I'm just like, shut it. I just see stuff that I'm like, this is just too ornate compared to anything I saw before. I'm used to seeing the old stuff kind of looking like kind of hammered out. It looks like stuff that with the tools I have, but with limited experience, I could probably almost get done, was like how they used to look like. Or in many cases, I would be able to do that given enough time, you know. But this kind of stuff now that I'm seeing, I'm like, no, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. Sapphire, working sapphire like this, the gold inside. I mean, no, I just, I'm sorry. It wasn't that good before. It was part of the collection of the Earl of Arundel from 1637 to 1762. At which point it became one of the famous Marlborough gems. I've never heard of the Marlborough gems. Look at the workmanship in that. Look at that thing. That is beautiful. Not surprised. The Marlborough gems. Have you ever heard of that? They're famous. The ring caused a sensation. Was made available for purchase on auction by Royal Jewelers Wartski. The ring is one of the prestigious Marlborough gems, having previously been in the collection of the Earl of Arundel. It's crafted entirely of sapphire. Very few hololiths exist, and I would argue that this is the best example you can find. Hololiths. So it's a hololith. Monoliths and hololiths. Okay, so I guess it means they hollowed out a hole. It's a hololith. So they're saying it's from the old times, hololith from the old times. Yeah, I don't think so. We'll see, it's there. Interesting images. Okay, so let's close that one. Close that one. I wanted to check out this Marlborough gems just real quick too. Now you're just kind of seeing how I find one Mandela and then it just goes on and on, because I read on that one. I'm like, well, what's that? What's that? Okay, so there's another one. Marlborough gem. 62,000 liras or whatever those are, pounds. A little bit simpler there. So that one's just faceted and then carved. So is it Marlborough gems or like carved stuff, I guess? Some pretty stuff. But you know, they had stuff like this out of like shell, but emerald, yeah. It was like 10 to 30 feet off the ground and went up in a ball of flames. How did anyone survive? Yeah, I just remember the whole thing went up and you're just like, that's it, they're dead. That the whole thing is a giant fireball. Like you said, it was, and I think more than 10 feet. It was like 30 feet for me. I mean, it was way up there. And then by the time it's coming down, it was completely engulfed. I don't see how anybody would survive. They would have been burned from head to toe. Me and Jimmy Jean are starting a GoFundMe to go to the Congo and look for Mokele Mbembe using a hot air balloon. Okay, you kind of lost me on what this subject matter is there. I guess you're quoting from something? Or are you really going to do that? You're totally serious. You can't. Are you sure it's not an April Fool's? Because I really sounds like one. I'm sorry, but you can't try to unload one of those on April 1st and then like have me fall for it. Glowing Japanese cat. Really? I'm sorry, Epic, but no, I don't. Not on. I'm not gonna take that one on April Fools. It's not gonna work. You could have almost pulled it off until you tried the hot air balloon. Then I'm like, no. Glowing Japanese cat. Let's check that one out. Things are so weird now, though, that like it's very common for me to not be sure if something is real or like it's some kind of the onion story or something. Now I think I heard about this like a year ago that they made these glow in the dark cats by putting that like it was like a GMO cat basically. So yeah, that when did they say they made that? Unless they say they made it a long time, then I would say that it's just new. When's this article from? 2011. I don't know if it went back that far. That's a little fishy. I don't know. I can't swear to it, but I don't remember it going back that far. You are trying. Totally serious, right? What? It's not a sword in the stone anymore? Are we talking about um what are we talking about here? Velveeta skin products. Uh, Sometimes these titles. Velveeta might be launching skincare line. The creaminess of Velveeta now in skincare. This 10 hours ago. Okay. I think we got another joke going on here. Yeah, I think that's another April Fool. They're starting early. V by Velveeta is not suitable for all skin types because it is full of dairy goodness. Those with dairy allergens may have an adverse reaction. Yeah, I think that's another one. Can't blame you for picking on an ME crowd. We will believe anything. There's so many times now where I'm like, is that person insane or is it real? And I don't know. I have to check. In Disney cartoon, it was an anvil, but the story was stone. Yeah, I'm not sure about the cartoon. The movie was stone, and I've always seen it as stone. I remember a stone in the movie. Yeah, that's it's not a stone in the movie anymore. I mean, I don't know about the animated one, but the like human movie one. Velveeta, I don't know what is Velveeta. It's not really hardly dairy. It doesn't taste like it. Houdini died for me by doing a stunt in Niagara Falls, trying to escape a barrel before the falls, and didn't do it. Huh, that one's a new one for me. I have not heard that version. My neighbors cranked up a loud party at 11ish, and after a few minutes, a bird started screaming at them over and over until they turned the music off. Then it was quiet. Huh, that's interesting. The ME in itself is like an ongoing April Fool's Day. It is. You thought it was this, but really it's this, and then the story is so weird. Velveeta is unaged cheese, but there's so much crap in it. There's like I think it's only half cheese. I don't think they're even allowed to call it cheese. I think they have to call it a cheese product because there's so little cheese in it. Like, my hair. You guys like it? To me, it's getting like shaggy. It's haircut time, man. Epic. I'm sorry, dude. You cannot drop that story on April 1st. I'm sorry, dude. All right, anyway, I think we got it all. 1:30. It's like a new world record for Eva, finishing in an hour and a half and with accessory chit chat. Well, yeah, anyway, April Fools, when you get back up in the morning, there should be more of them out. So keep your thinking caps on. It's, look up Spider Goat. I think we did those before, didn't we? Spider Goat. I'm almost afraid to look. Spider Goat. Oh, okay, that was that one with like a million extra feet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one. I don't think it lived, did it? There's so many things with many legs growing now. Let's see, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that was on. I'm not sure. We've done a lot of stuff that was born not right lately. And the rest of these are just goofy Photoshops, so I think that's the one. See, there's another one. It was like a sheep. Yep. Look long enough. Let's see. Wait, there's another one. I don't think it lived, though, did it? I can't remember now. So it's just that one picture. Yeah, so many things are getting born. I mean, there's like people with malformations that I don't think would have ever lived. I mean, it used to be that like what was that? John Merrick, dude. That was like one of the worst malformations ever known to man, kind of a thing. And now he's like a walk in the park compared to stuff that's like all over the place. Yep, so I'm pretty much done. I'm not doing Discord because first of all, Discord is like deleting everybody. And so I don't like Discord, and a lot of us that are like to talk about stuff freely don't like Discord because they're going in, and even in private channels, they're removing channels. They're like YouTube. So that's one thing. The second thing is like so many people have done Discord, and then nobody ever goes there. It just, I don't know why it doesn't work, but maybe if you come up with a different one, but I'm not using Discord. I have trouble with Discord too. Every time I try to get on it, it doesn't work right. Me and Discord, we don't get along. Been having really, really dry skin lately. No, I think I'm kind of normal. I mean, sand is running out. Global silicon shortage. Expect sand dunes and sand lakes to appear all over the place. Yeah, yeah, sapphire. That's right. Okay, so what is sapphire talking about? Basically, there was a news article that we're running out of sand for making concrete, I believe it was, because they use sand and like they have to have this special kind of sand that's like wind blown. You can't just scrape it up from the ocean. And they're running out. And they said you can't use the Sahara sand because it's too fine and blah, 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 blah. No, no. And I don't know if I was talking to you on. Oh, I know somebody else brought it up. Maybe it was you on the comments. But I was saying, every time they say that, it never happens. Well, it was running out, and then 10 years later, we got plenty. Oil was running out, water was running out. Everything's gonna run out. So I have a hard time believing we're gonna run out of sand at this point. But Discord means don't get along. Yeah, I don't get along with Discord. Gilded is a Discord alternative. Okay, well maybe if one of you guys sets it up because I'm like lazy. I just have too many things on my plate plus I'm lazy. So there's a combo. Yeah, see, no dry skin for me, but I've never really had a big problem with dry skin since I kind of cut way back on the wheat. The wheat was kind of doing it, I think, and even then it was just like on my feet only, so that's bull because they get sand from rivers, all kinds of grades. Yeah, I was just like, no, well, maybe like they weren't allowing them to rake it from the rivers, but then I just think of so many rivers I know where I see sand. I don't know if the news just likes to be a fear monger and prices go up 10% and oh my God, we're running out of sand. I just. China is stealing sand from the neighbors by the boatload. So my understanding, and I have never heard of this until the last few years, but supposedly China scrapes up all the sand and then they plop it all up and they make like islands out of it and stuff. But that supposedly that ocean sand is no good for the concrete, is the story. You know what I am all the time now is like kind of thirsty, but yet water doesn't really make me satisfied. I don't know how to describe it. A lot. It's like, I don't know. It's just like water is not wet enough or something. I know it sounds ridiculous, but used to be when I was thirsty and I get that water and I just throw it back and it just felt so good. And I would drink like a certain amount and I'm like, done. I'm satisfied. But now it's like I get it and like, well, it's okay, but it's like I want something else, but the thing I want doesn't exist. And this water is better than nothing, but it's not really the thing that would like it's not satisfying the way it used to be. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I don't think thick water was just they just put gelatin in it and that would be gross. Water is not wet enough. Yeah, yeah. It just seems like it's. I'm not even touching that one. HV. Only aloe vera satiates my thirst. I might try that. I don't. I actually have the plant. So what do you just squeeze some in there? All right. Anyways, I think I'm done. So I think I'm gonna end it. Don't take any wooden nickels on April Fool's Day. Think good thoughts, everybody. This is Eva signing off for Once Upon a Timeline.